right, cool. So here we go. So I'm gonna read like they're kind of rules, kind of just like things to keep in mind. I mean, we're all like, no one's gonna fucking yell here.
I'm gonna start screaming at you guys.
I mean, when you
Randy's yelled at me for my takes on movies.
I should say I'm already infuriated.
Listen,
I'm holding a knife.
Hold on. No, Joey, the only time I ever got really mad at you is when you said that was a good way to kill off Luke Skywalker.
I was wrong.
And you've admitted that you're wrong, so I was right. So I was right to yell at you.
That's a great thing for me to get started with the rules, okay? So the first thing I have for introductions and rules, people are allowed to have changed their opinions. No, I thought you said earlier it was a blank bullshit. None of that. Any reason for rating movies is a good reason, whether it's editing or nostalgia or self-awareness, just say why you're rating it. So if you're rating a movie because of the nostalgia, just say that. Like, if that's why you're rating it so high, that's totally cool, just say that. If I kick you in the dick and I say, no, I was supposed to do that, it's probably about as good as the argument if a movie was supposed to be bad and it was bad, it's good. So none of that shit here. People's own tier lists mean different things, looking at you, me. So don't look at someone who put Civil War in S tier and ask them why I think it's as good as 12 Years a Slave. No gotchas. Do not do that. I'm personally not rating it as theater experiences or events. If you want to rate it that way, awesome. But that would be like all S tiers for like, well, not all, but for a good amount of them.
Decent amount.
Yeah. You can nicely ask why people have changed their opinions, though. Just no fucking gotchas. You can rate Infinity War and Endgame together if you want. I personally didn't.
I'm not. I would
try not to spoil ahead. We're going to go chronologically for each one.
Are we? What? Is Black Panther rated higher now?
No,
I think that would be.
But I always liked it. But we're going to get to that. Too. Okay, we're going to get to.
What about It Chapter 2?
Awful.
Controversial. Okay. We have one that I think we all.
I still liked it.
Have an incredibly controversial one. Oh yeah. So and then I had a list, and we have to change it a bit of movies that people want to start the discussion on. For Winter Soldier, obviously Joey will want to start that one. Guardians 2, I have Richie, but Richie's not here. I think you really like that one too, Joey?
I love it.
I think you should have somebody else. Oh, there's two Joeys.
Oh yeah.
If you love it, then perfect. I'm at my brother, but I will put you down for that. I'm going to do Captain Marvel, and Randy's going to start Infinity War. Does anyone have any other movies that they're attached to that they want to start the discussion on? Or have something to say that they think they want to like start it with? No? Okay, cool. All right, we're going chronological. My current rating, and I'll start. We'll just rotate until we get to one of those movies. So we'll go me, Randy, JD, Joey, me, and then if Richie joins, then we'll throw him in wherever. Yeah, he's menthol.
I've been talking, baby.
What's that?
Oh, hi, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
What's the tier like? The talking list.
So we're going to go chronological.
You mean Dupree?
You mean Dupree. So it's me. Oh, yeah, that's what you meant. So it's me, Randy, JD, you, me. And we'll throw Richie in, like, in queue whenever he gets in here, and he'll just be in that spot.
Which chronological are we talking about? Are we talking about in order of the MCU or in order of release?
Release.
Release. So don't try to Captain Marvel me.
Starting with Iron Man. Okay, and I'll get started on Iron Man. So here's my opinions on Iron Man. I think it's the only Marvel movie that pushed boundaries with the whole like starting the MCU thing. I think I saw it twice in theaters. I know I saw it once with you, Joey, and Ben, in theaters. But I was not super attached to it when I was young, and I'm not super attached to it now. But I do think that it's probably the best superhero casting of an A-list actor. Thoughts?
I mean, yeah.
You think so?
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
It's either him or like Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill didn't pan out for nearly as long.
That's why it's hard, because he was good as Superman.
I think Iron Man's definitely one of the purest like adaptions that you can get. It's really at its core, it's just really everything you want it to be.
Yeah,
I don't think it was super amazing in any way, though. I think it
wasn't.
You gotta judge it at its time.
It was a cool idea, but the MCU didn't happen after it, I think everyone would have forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's
even if they just did the trilogy.
Yeah, I think no one would have it wasn't nearly. It's not nearly as good as a standalone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the only movie. Like I said, I think it's the only movie that took any risks with granted, double or triple digit of billions of risks. But it certainly played out. It was definitely worth the investment. Let's say our rankings. I put Iron Man at the top of D tier.
The top of D?
Yeah.
I'm not D as in dog?
I'll put it at the I'm putting it at the bottom of B.
Bottom of B? Oh really? I have no want to watch it again. I liked it, it's fine.
Ooh,
I'm saying B. I'm judging the movie by its time. The movie was a really good movie when it came out.
Yeah.
How big do you think it was compared to what are the biggest all-time blockbusters like Avatar or Titanic?
Avengers, all the Avenger movies.
That is true.
The thing about Iron Man is without Iron Man, it's the start of this all. See, if you're judging it like that, are we judging them individually or are we judging them
however you want to? Just
however you
want to. I'm personally judging them as films, which is why I put it in D tier.
See, I don't think it makes sense to judge them like that. So
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna
You don't have to judge them like that. I think it was a good movie. It's fine. It's okay.
Taking everything into account, I mean, you get Robert Downey Jr., right? You get the entirety of the MCU. Not just that, but the MCU entirely changed cinema. Everybody tried to copy it. So without Iron Man, you don't get that. Also, it was a huge risk, like you said. Marvel was an unknown when it came to making movies. So that was a huge risk. Without that, their movie division was going to die, and they were going to have to sell off a lot of.
Really?
Rights. Yeah.
Wow. When did Disney get involved?
After it was Iron Man 3 was the first Disney movie.
Gotcha.
Because it wasn't received well.
I think I will move it up for me. I think I'll move it up to C tier. We'll move it up to C tier for me.
Anybody else want to talk about Iron Man?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to say it's B, and I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, it's just the way it's made is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think the casting does a lot for it. I think Robert Downey Jr. definitely is a big reason why I'm putting it where it is. But yeah, it's fine. Like I said, I think at its core, if you want an Iron Man movie, I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the character. I mean, this definitely got me more interested once I saw him. But
me too.
Yeah, it was good, but I don't know when the next time I'll watch it.
Yeah. See that's why I'm rating it so harshly. I liked it. It's cool. It's fine. The casting is amazing, and then I'm done with it.
But just purely as for sure.
But again, I mean, it's all about the consistency of our list. So your B tier is obviously going to mean something. When you do put something higher than it, I know exactly what you mean. So it's it's totally cool. So the Incredible Hulk. You want to start this one off, Randy?
C tier. I have nothing to say about this. I don't remember it much. I remember not hating Edward Norton, but I mean, other than that, well, who's casted as the villain in that movie?
I
don't remember.
What was that guy's name? I don't remember the actor's name.
Very familiar name.
Yeah, I think it might have been. I don't know if it was. Was it Tim, the dude from Holes? Was he the one that played the Abomination, or no?
Shia LaBeouf.
I don't know.
Tim Roth was. Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Who is actually a really good actor. How can you
not like Tim Roth?
He's
Roth.
He's Reservoir Dogs.
Gotcha. Hateful Eight, Pulp Fiction. Wow. Oh, so okay. I see where his connections are.
The great Planet of the Apes movie from 2002 or whatever.
Oh boy.
With Mark Wahlberg, the makeup.
Funny Games was good though. That's probably one of my favorite directors.
The UK version, the original Funny Games or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing for this. Like, I don't. Clearly, it didn't work because he got recasted, and the whole thing is kind of.
Yeah.
That was Joss Whedon though, which I have choice things.
I mean, at the end of the day, it still ended up getting recasted, and not many people remember it, and not many people even like remember it's part of the MCU.
I know.
Okay. It's actually D. It's actually top of D.
I don't know if I can rate because I don't remember. Like, I haven't seen it in so long. I remember not hating it. I kind of feel like, in retrospect, I kind of wish Edward Norton would have still been the Hulk. To be completely honest, I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
And it's not really Mark Ruffalo's fault. I just don't think they do.
Somewhere else.
They don't know how to. I don't think they know how to write for him well. I don't think they've really done his shit well.
That's why they don't.
I don't know. It was fine. I don't really remember it much, just because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I just moved mine into haven't seen because I don't remember fuck about it now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I liked Edward Norton. I thought he was really depthy with what he did. And I think a lot of it was actually him. I think that might have been, I think some of the issues were with him too. But
what was the tone of it? How serious did it take itself?
Dude, I don't remember.
It was too serious. Edward Norton was asking for too much money at the time.
That's what it was.
Sounds like it sounds like him though.
It's not even entirely like Edward Norton's fault, but Edward Norton was asking for too much money, so the Avengers didn't work out in his favor. Ruffalo got put in a tough spot, taken over like that for such a serious character that Mark Ruffalo shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah.
And the Incredible Hulk is either D or F. Definitely low D.
Yeah.
Not just because of everything, but like, how important is the Incredible Hulk in the grand scheme of things?
It's not.
He's just became comic relief.
The most important character that came out of the Incredible Hulk is General Ross.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, dude.
In the context of these movies, yeah.
Ross like ties this thing together as much as Nick Fury does.
That's real as shit. I don't know if I would rate it that low purely because there's definitely movies in their roster that I dislike a lot more.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I'm thinking D.
I'm thinking
without William Hurt, dude. The movie it would be lower.
I barely fucking remember it. I can remember scenes very vaguely though.
I'll give it a C.
That's pretty high.
They set William Hurt up to play Red Hulk so early on, and now it's just finally starting to pay off. Dude, I think that's awesome. I mean, he's been such a huge and crazy part of the MCU.
Yeah.
I mean, they've planted so many trip mines.
We're finally getting Thunderbolts. That's so cool.
Yeah.
The Crimson Bolt. All right,
Thunderbolt is gonna be fun.
So what is that? 2 D tiers, maybe F. I haven't seen in a C tier. That's very useful. Thank you.
True.
That was a hard one for me because I'm trying to wrap my memory.
I just don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm going to leave mine and haven't seen, but I think it averages to like a D or. I'll leave it there for now. We'll maybe come back to it. All right. So after the Incredible Hulk was
Showgirls.
That wasn't it. Let me pull up
Iron Man 2.
Oh, I think it's the worst of the three. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to start it. Fuck. When was it to start? I'm sorry. Whatever. I think it's the worst of the three.
Yeah. Pretty easily. It's sitting pretty on the F tier.
Yeah.
Movie?
God.
Iron Man 2.
I don't even think I saw it.
The fucking angry whip boy.
I think I just have to judge these as Marvel movies. It's too hard.
That's fine. That's totally cool.
If Iron Man 2 is not judged as a Marvel movie,
like
it's still judged as a Marvel movie. It's still F tier.
It's still
it's still.
I'll be honest.
Progress,
I'll be honest. Once again, I'm gonna give it a very low D, purely because you still have Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. That's the only reason. Because there are other movies that I think are deserving of an F.
I understand that mindset like real well. I really do. I think that's a good way to go about it. It's to like choose your highest movie and then
because like my thing is like there's like, you know, I try to think of things like, okay, did I like anything about it? And if I didn't, I'll put it in F. But I mean, for this, I mean, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, so.
Do you like ScarJo?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was in it.
Oh yeah.
She's in it, and I'm a big fan of Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, I forgot that was him. He looks terrible. Like, you know, he looks like Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he used to be handsome. Anyway, we'll have a rating of Mickey Rourke's looks and surgeries another day.
Yeah. I have mine in F tier.
Understandable.
Agreed.
Understandable.
It's not the worst, but it's close.
Not the worst. It's definitely not the worst.
Iron Man 2. I don't know. I'm thinking it's not the worst, but
it's real close. You're cutting it close.
Iron Man 2 is. They learned a lot from Iron Man 2, man. They learned a lot.
Yeah.
The Iron Man 2 is the most typical carbon cut copy of what a sequel should be when you have no inspiration.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it
well
was
said.
Like, hey, let's, you know, money, maybe, guys.
Iron Man 2 was that. I think that was the last movie directed by Jon Favreau, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, because 3 was directed by Shane Black.
Yep. But Iron Man 2 is the villain no one cared about. What they learned from Iron Man and arguably Age of Ultron is you can't shoehorn the world building too hard. It has to work on its own.
Yes.
Iron Man 2 and Age of Ultron did way too much to try to world build.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it in F tier.
Yeah. I think we're going to have the same bottom 3. Not in the same order, but I think we're all going to have the same bottom 3.
Move mine to F.
Okay. All right.
I think Joey needs to be like a movie lawyer or some shit.
Movie lawyer.
Whatever that is.
Lawyer. Dude, I'm like looking at all these really tiny posters for the movies, and I can get most of them, but I cannot see which one is Iron Man 2.
Also, maybe I'm
even on here.
Do you have a thing I'm supposed to be watching, James?
No, but I can stream it. Yeah, I can stream it, yeah.
It's the one with him kneeling.
Okay, thank you.
I think.
So that's not it. Is it even on here? Because that'd be funny if that's why I couldn't find it.
Yo, I don't think it's actually on here. I think the one with him kneeling is 3.
Oh my god.
I think
that's 3. That's definitely 3.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
I don't think it's on here. Well, that's why.
What website are you using? TierMaker?
It is, but there's multiple ones. Hold on, I can find different.
I'm using that one.
Ones.
It's on that one.
Of all MCU characters.
It's not on this one.
Marvel movies tier list. It's going to be just MCU. Cinematic
wait, it is on this one.
I see it. Second row.
Oh, did you post a link? Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the one with an explosion. They're all in the background.
Okay. Oh god, I have to make a new.
Scuffed.
F. I'd row below. And then have not seen. Okay. Cool. Oh. Okay. Cool. Where is it? It's 3. There's 2. Gotcha. F.
No, that's the first one. That's the first one.
How is this the?
It says Iron Man, and there's the Big Bowski.
Where's the second one then?
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Covered over it.
You missed
This?
it. Left.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nope.
No,
That's
Guardian. That's
so,
Doctor Strange.
that could not be it.
Go
more.
right.
That's it. That's it right there.
And go right. And go right.
It's
And right
that-
there.
Where's the Lowe's ad? It's the Lowe's ad.
Thank you. That's what I thought it was, but that's a terrible poster for it. Even more reason to hate it. Where's the Incredible? Okay, cool.
I don't like
All right.
a lot of posters.
All right, so next one would be Thor. Now,
Hey.
is this the? I think this is the lowest rated Marvel movie.
No. I think
Thor 2 is.
Yeah.
You would think, but this one is rated a little lower.
Huh?
Yeah, it's weird. This one's rated a little lower.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking right here. The public
That's-
response.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, I think this movie sucks. I think it's got no character building, no environment, no atmosphere you care about. It just drags on. The color palette is terrible to look at. It takes itself too seriously, and it's exhaustingly boring. I think it's a D tier movie for me.
I agree.
It's for sure D tier.
I agree.
It's right below Incredible Hulk. I think
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk's better.
Yeah.
That at least has color.
I have more chance of watching Incredible Hulk than I do Thor.
I do too. Yeah, me too. What do you think, Joey?
Oh man. So
Hit us with the bombshell.
God.
no, definitely no bombshell here, but
When he's
I
gonna
mean
get-
it proved Thor worked. I also have it in D tier, but like Thor's a difficult one because they also had to set up Loki, and then Loki was used as the Avengers villain.
Yeah.
So Loki needed to be good enough like to cast that. I mean, without Thor, without Loki, that's a huge part of the MCU we're missing. D tier because they obviously messed up Thor. Thor should have been the best part of the movie instead of Loki, right?
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston does kill it.
Tom Hiddleston, dude, he
I love
originally
how
tried out for Thor.
Oh, really?
Thank God he didn't.
he looked.
Yeah.
But that's not to say Chris Hemsworth doesn't actually try and kill it. It's just that was awful.
Yeah.
I-
it's just a
Written
bad movie.
so poorly.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't think I don't think they knew what to do for a while. And then by Thor Ragnarok, they're like, oh, let's just make him funny and dumb.
Yeah. Which we'll get there when we get there.
Of course. So, Joey, let me ask you something. Are you, like, rating these also, like, dependability on, like, what they did for everything else?
Yes, 100%.
That's cool. That's a cool angle.
That's probably how it should be. I'm just a snuff. I'm a fucking critical asshole.
I'm doing that.
Because it's like if I just rate it as enjoyment, like relative to the film, then I'm like, well, because it's like made to be a theater experience, so S tier, and it's like instead of trying to strike that balance, I'm just gonna rate them all as movies. But yeah, I think Thor is D tier. It seems like we all put it in D tier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thor's fucking
Love the villain.
Joe, you want to get it started for the first Captain America?
Captain America 1.
Yes.
Very average movie. Unfortunately, with Phase 1, after Iron Man was such a success, they had this like idea where they needed to play it super safe. So they're like, okay, hey, this works well. How do we do this again? So, that's why you got your Iron Man 2, but they can't play. They played it safe with Thor. They played it safe with Iron Man 2, and then Captain America was a period piece, which is different than most Marvel movies, other than Captain Marvel. But Chris Evans killed it. Like that was the most memorable thing was Chris Evans in that role. I personally have it under C tier. I think it wasn't anything special.
Me too.
Unfortunately, but it proved Chris Evans worked. And Captain America is one of the hardest heroes to work. a guy pulled out of the World War II. Like he was the hardest person. Him and Thor.
Yeah, I also have it in C tier. I think it's good. I think it's the worst of the Captain America movies, but I put it in C tier. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I have it in B tier. I remember really enjoying it, and I remember really enjoying Red Skull.
Yes,
I remember
it's a good villain. Yeah.
I remember very much enjoying pretty much every aspect of the movie, but not like super enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
Just on the same level of Iron Man for sure. For me,
worked well.
I absolutely agree with Randy. I have such a soft spot for this movie. I have really good memories from it. I remember I watched it a lot when it came out, came out on Blu-ray and shit. Yeah, I think Chris Evans was great. I loved the feel of the movie, the atmosphere. I thought Hugo Weaving was dope as Red Skull.
Yep.
I thought the romance was sweet. I've always thought that him and Haley Atwell or whatever, Atwell, I think they have really great chemistry. I thought it was a really sweet movie, and honestly, I liked it better than Iron Man, to be honest. So I would have to say B.
I was going to say I liked it more than Iron Man as well. I'm not dying on the hill of C. I think I could maybe put it in B, but it would
the line.
Yeah, it's definitely either the top of C or the bottom of B for me.
The thing about Captain America is also it was one of their most worried about movies.
Really? Wow.
Because Captain America is a huge part of the Avengers, always has been. But he's in the comics. He's died. I mean, think about the age we live in.
Yeah.
Having a superhero named Captain America. I mean, Captain America was literally made to be propaganda when he came out.
Yeah.
It was a very weird movie to have work.
Yeah.
So that was really cool that they managed to pull that off.
I like one of my favorite movies, I'll make this quick, is obviously by Charlie Kaufman. It's called Adaptation, where they switch directors halfway through, which in the movie they do, so it completely changes the way it was directed. And I get that vibe from this one too, and I think they did a really good job on it. Just because of the huge shift in everything, I liked it a lot. More the obvious ones, before and after the drugs that made him from scrawny and then into Chris Evans.
Yeah,
I like this.
It was
movie.
awesome.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. That's another thing I loved about it was I loved him and Bucky's relationship. I thought the characters interacted really well with each other, and everybody interacted with one another the way they were supposed to.
They had some characters.
Also, you brought up a really cool point, Joey, which is it's weird to think that even though this movie was even though it is a long time ago, but also not, it was only 9 years ago, and if they were just starting the MCU now, it's easy to say that the character would have probably been heavily compromised.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't have done it. There's no way they would have done it. People wouldn't care. They'd be like, it started at Iron Man, duh, just leave it there. Even though it keeps tracing back, but whatever. I'll leave it in B tier for now. I think I'll probably flirt with the line, but I think for the communal gathering of how we're doing it, I'm going to leave it in B. So that leads us to, oh boy, the first Avengers. So I accidentally saw this movie, the first showing in theaters, with my friend Billy in 8th grade. And we didn't know we saw the first showing. And I think the movie theater fucked up because we didn't order tickets online. We just oh look, they're showing this movie, we should just go. Because when we left, the theater was half full when we were there, and when we left there was a huge line out the door for the movie. It was very strange. Anyways, this movie's okay. I think it's the worst. Well, no, it's not. It's not the worst Avengers movie. It was exciting. The CGI doesn't hold up super great. Mm-mm. But it was pretty awesome to see everyone come together, and that was definitely the first time that's happened, even though it's been replicated a million times since this moment. And I remember it fondly, but I don't think it's great, and I think it's a C tier movie.
Yeah.
Is that it? Does anyone have it?
I mean, I don't. It's fine. I don't know the last time I watched it. At the time, I was like, oh, cool. But I don't know. I think it was kind of...
Avengers 1 was such a risk, man.
It was, but like, I'm just judging it for what it was, what I saw. I don't know. I don't want to say it was boring, but...
It wasn't boring. It wasn't boring.
I don't know. There was a lot left to be desired for me. It's like, it's historic and shit, but yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's good.
Are you rating it lower than I did?
No, I would say C. Okay. I would say C. Yeah.
I have mine on B. The reason I have it on B is, like, again, this movie was the first, right? Right? This was the first movie to do this in this manner. Everybody said that it would not work because there'd be too many, too many actors. They said that on Avengers 1. There'd be too many actors and not enough screen time.
That's awkward.
Too many actors, not enough screen time. Also, talk about Marvel. So Marvel killed it with Iron Man, and then afterwards, they didn't make as much money with Thor, Captain America, and the Incredible Hulk, right?
Yeah.
So they had this idea planted that they wanted to do an Avengers movie after killing it with Iron Man and then having some failures and Iron Man 2 not doing as good. And they had to blow it out of the park, which they did with Avengers.
I think Avengers is top of B tier. I think
really?
I think it's one of the most fun movies. I mean, not that a movie has to be fun, but I think seeing everybody together, there's so many iconic moments in that movie.
That's the wrong one. That's Infinity War. Shit. Avengers is all, right there.
It's so small. It's so small. Oh, yeah, I see it. I think it's worth mentioning, too, that Chris Evans was not as big as he was now. Like, not even close. The two real blockbuster names would have just been ScarJo and RDJ, yeah. Which I think I will maybe move it up to B tier.
Yeah, I mean that's actually something. I mean, you had ScarJo and Iron Man 2 and shit, but for the most part, I mean, you had a lot of people that you had a lot of groundwork to introduce.
Yeah.
And they kind of just were like, no, you'll get what you get and it'll work fine. And and an ensemble piece of that, to that degree is definitely they definitely have so much respect. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, same thing that I said about the Captain America movie. Every character interacted with one another the way they needed to, and that's huge for me. Yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I've watched it, but yeah, B.
It's solid.
I'll go B tier. I agree. It was fun, and
I don't want to shit on it.
Yeah, they didn't do a storyline that didn't feel complete because of the screen time thing. They tied it up.
I think one of my biggest gripes with it is that I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the cinematography, to be honest. Outside of the iconic shot, I feel like there's a lot left to be desired for me personally. But
yeah, it's not the prettiest thing. It's really.
And I thought it was graded weird. I don't know. There's something about it, looking at it visually, that bothers me. But it's
most of the MCU suffers from that problem.
Yeah.
It's all just.
It only got worse over time, really.
But put it in B. I don't want to say C.
All right. Sweet. Well, it sounds like we all agree on that one. Iron Man 3. I think it's the best of the three. I know that's controversial.
No, I kind of agree. I think that it's a really fun movie. I think there's a lot of heart to it.
Yeah, I agree.
You see Tony down in the fucking dumps with that kid and shit, which I think is
they brought back same actor.
I know.
That's crazy.
Ty Simpkins.
Lopez, yeah.
George Lopez. Yeah, I mean, I really, like I said, it has been a while, but I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I think it's a sweet little movie.
Let's hear the controversy.
I don't remember much of it, but I don't remember liking it that much. I definitely remember Iron Man being the best of the three for me, but this definitely was not nearly as bad as Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't remember anything bad in particular about it probably means it was pretty okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm putting it in C tier.
Yeah, mine's high C tier.
Agreed.
All right, Joey.
So,
Iron Man
3.
No, I just wanted to say something.
Well, thank you.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 is one of the lowest rated movies. And when Iron Man 3 came out, everybody thought this was it. You know, Disney bought Iron Man, bought out this Marvel, and they're going to kill it. You know, Disney's going to be a franchise ruiner, but that they had to wait a couple years for Star Wars for that one. But Iron Man 3 was so fun for me. There are so many reasons to hate it. Iron Man 3 has the worst fucking villain ever.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
None of you remember him. I don't remember was it Aldrich Killian? Yeah, it was Killian. So Killian gets these super soldiers to blow up, right? They're like pseudo terrorists that would blow themselves up, and so he becomes this red, not monster, but almost on fire at the end, and everybody forgets that Pepper Potts does as well. However, in this middle of this terrible movie, oh God, Joey, what's the director's name?
Shane Black.
Shane Black makes this Christmas film about Iron Man losing his armor.
Yes.
In a garage with a kid.
That's kind of why.
That's why I like it.
And that part is why Iron Man 3 holds up so well.
Yeah.
It is just this cutesy Christmas movie
Yes.
where Iron Man is down on his last leg, has nothing, man. He has nothing. His house was blown up. He needs to protect Pepper. He has no suits. He needs to fix what he has left in a garage with a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why Iron Man is still in a B tier for me.
Wow, really?
Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to go to B because the movie lawyer strikes again. It's true because we don't remember the villain because in a way that's not really what it was about, or at least that's what it
wasn't about that, yeah.
For us, you know. Because they did something different. I loved that. You know, I think it was a really intimate movie for Tony. I think it was really a chance to kind of just get down with that, and I don't know, that whole story of him. He's in the garage with the kid. That's the kind of shit that I love. And
great Christmas movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's put it this way. I'll be honest. Out of the 3, I might watch 3 the soonest.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's the best of the 3.
I think I think it's visually. I like it. I think it's visually looks okay. I kind of like how it looks.
Iron Man 3 had a lot of controversy in the comic world, because they teased this huge villain with the Mandarin.
Yeah.
And just, you guys remember that twist?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So the Mandarin was supposed to be in charge of the terrorists, right?
Yeah.
No. He's an actor.
Okay.
So, not a very fun twist.
No, let's go on the D tier now. No.
It's not a very fun twist on a very hyped up villain. However, it did do some weird ways to kind of set up Shang-Chi in a way. So that will be fun to see in the next, who knows, because of COVID. So
it'll be a while.
It's going to be a while, but Shang-Chi just resumed filming again, so give it a year or two.
But no, I think, I'll be honest.
Sticking in B tier.
Yeah, I think the whole shit with him and the kid and that story of, from nothing to, kind of redoing it again after, I think that makes up for most of it for me. Because I think because when they do that, they nail it.
They really did. That was the most memorable thing. Some people said that I was with Who's That Kid? Because at the Iron Man funeral scene, the kid that was in the garage shows up.
Yeah.
I heavily think, though, Iron Man 3 launches Ironheart eventually with that kid, and then also, obviously, Shang-Chi. So it did have its importance.
As a movie and not a series.
It will 1,000% be a Disney Plus series.
I know, but hopefully
they're not gonna give Ty Simpkins a fucking theatrical.
Well, also, they're not going to take risks on movie theaters probably for a while. Genuinely, I think that.
Oh, we're still 4 years away from that movie.
Yeah. Hey, you
4
guys
years away
remember,
from Eternals.
you guys remember Insidious? Well, here's that kid.
Dude, he's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it.
Yeah, they committed to him. I assumed that was him. I think I even asked you. I was like, wait, what's that? Yeah, good. So B tier. I'm comfortable with that. I think it's the best of the three. I've always thought that. Oh God. Oh, boy.
Can we just all agree? Can we just?
It's at the bottom.
It's at the
very
fucking bottom.
Could we create its own category?
Yeah, let's do that.
Just put in Thor.
Dark World.
It's just the most boring, ugly.
I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say about it.
Idiot, dumb.
Alright, it's in the nope category.
I have nothing to say about it.
We'll never watch it again.
Not a movie. It was there because they made a timeline and they're like, alright, we need to put a Thor 2 here. And then fuck it, Kat Dennings.
Yeah.
Portman doesn't want to do it.
I wish she would have
Portman
been.
was still in it.
I like Natalie Portman. She signed for a new one, right?
Yep.
Coming back.
Well,
Because they were like, hey man, we're going to give you something big. And she's like, oh, okay, cool.
Awesome.
But
she's awesome. She's in Black Swan.
I would have killed to. I've never heard of it. I would have killed to have seen Kat Dennings wear 2 trash can lids and a blonde wig and then become Thor.
Yeah. There's more content there.
Yeah.
All right, so fucking the lowest of the barrel is
F tier. Let's not talk about it. It's easily the worst movie.
Yeah, let's just not.
Easily, hands down, the worst.
Oh. I never even realized what was after this. Joey, you can start this one.
Here we go, baby.
Joey, all you.
Well, when we're all judging movies on a different basis. No matter what basis that you decide to judge a movie on, The Winter Soldier is going to be the best movie.
Yep.
If you decide that you disagree, ooh, I'd like to hear that.
We'll get. But
so do I.
Man has ants.
It doesn't have ants, so that does bring it down a little bit, but not much. Winter Soldier works really well because let's pretend that let's just look at the Captain America movies, right? Captain America loves his country. Like you build him up. He loves his country. He's all about. Seriously though, he's Mr. America. So it's about what happens to Captain America whenever he loses all of it.
Yeah.
So he realizes his friend's the enemy again, but he loses everything that makes him Captain America. So trying to decide on what that does to a character. It works self-contained.
Yeah,
so that's really important. So self-contained in the Marvel movies. It's a spy thriller. So right about this era of Marvel movies, they figure out that they're going to get stale. So they need to start, weaving things in and out. Things need to be horror movies. Things need to be spy thrillers. They need to change it up on the superhero genre. They need money. Disney needs money. They need to make things better. Right?
You're touching on all these points here, and you're not even touching about how good the fight scenes look in this movie.
Correct.
Everything is
It's a fucking great action movie.
It's an immediate S tier.
It's
S tier.
You guys
close.
Okay.
Ooh.
If we're saying if S tier inside the MCU for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Inside the MCU, it's an S tier.
Grand scheme of things, no. But
no.
Inside the MCU for sure.
We introduced Bucky.
That was a great, and that was like, getting the Russo brothers in the mix.
Yeah, how did I even forget that?
One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But, yeah.
I met Anthony Russo, yeah.
We did do that.
We have signed copies. But yeah, let's get these
these
2 dudes who did Community.
I know.
Episodes on a comedy to do this huge franchise.
This action spy thriller.
Who do you think pitched that to Disney? Who had the balls to do that? I think we should hire the 2 comedy guys.
Probably Ken Jeong.
Probably Ken Jeong.
Probably went in there, he crawled out of a vent.
Aren't they friends with someone like higher up? Fuck, who was it? Who are they friends with?
I do not know.
Huh.
Last Halloween,
It was like the very last, well, not even Halloween, it was November. It was the very last day of like haunted houses and shit. And I was going to go to Boo Brothers, Haunted House, or Ghoul Brothers, something. Because this guy that runs it, he was a makeup effects artist out here. And I almost just went by myself. And then somebody convinced me not to. And I said, you're a piece of shit. And then the next day I found out that Joe Russo and Tom Holland went that day. Because they are in town, I think, for Cherry or some shit.
That's tough.
Damn.
That's tough.
I was pissed. I don't talk to them. I don't talk to them as much now after that. So, but it's cool. Yeah. What a kick-ass movie.
Okay, so I will, for this communal tier list, change my rating to be based on MCU movies. For me, I think that this is a high B, A tier movie in the grand scheme of movies.
Oh yeah.
And for me, it's easily the best. I hated it. I thought it was boring. But then Joey said he really liked it, so I watched it again, and it's got one of the very few relationships in the MCU you actually care about.
I agree, absolutely.
Like Pepper and RDJ, you don't even care about. You care about RDJ and the boy.
Well, because with them, there's always something that might be lost or something at risk. That's kind of what they put there for a while. So you did give a shit, and yeah, I don't know. It is. I give more of a fuck about their friendship than every other romance they try and push in.
Yeah, let's talk about MCU romances and how terrible
so
they
for
are.
RTJ4, I'm putting it in this tier. For Run the Downey Jr. Where is it? Fuck, I can't find it.
I want to hear Randy's opinion, though.
Huh?
All right. Good-ass movie. Guardians of the Galaxy. Who wants to take this one?
Somebody that's
okay, all you.
Okay, so... this is the movie that I think is better than Winter Soldier. I think it might be.
What?
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorites. I'm all about dialogue and characters and relationships, and I love this story of these people coming together that absolutely shouldn't, and then by the end you're absolutely in love with them. I think the Guardians. I think they have the most heart in the MCU.
For sure. I
agree.
For me personally, and that's kind of what, when I write, that's kind of my shit. I live for heart and sweetness. And I think the fucking comedy is some of the best. For everybody saying every fucking movie in the MCU is a comedy, which, little bit. But this movie's fucking hilarious. And there's never an agenda behind it. Not saying others have, but it's just unfiltered fun and warmth, and I love the action in it, and I think it looks cool. And it was also the first time we really went into. It was the first time we're in space and shit. And then it was the introduction of Thanos, which was fucking nasty. I don't know. Whatever. And
I haven't seen any of the movies, so I don't know. That's just how I
some of them.
It's pronounced Tony. And I don't know. I absolutely adore Guardians, and I think it also can stand alone. I think it's kind of isolated, whether you have Thanos in it or not.
I think it's the most Marvel movie.
And I just think it's a delicious, full belly bite of a movie.
I agree that it's great. I don't think it's in the best for me personally, but it's for sure A tier. No questions. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thing. Because when I say it's better than Winter Soldier, I don't mean it's S tier. I just don't think Winter Soldier is S tier. But yes, A. But
all the characters work together. They're all great. They're all likable, even if they're not supposed to be likable. The soundtrack bangs. Everything hits about this movie. Doesn't hit as hard as it could, but it hits real hard.
Forgot about this.
And then they all of a sudden make you feel emotional when Groot shields everyone out of nowhere. It's a little emotional. It's got a little bit of everything,
Super thinking A tier. Yeah, Joey, what's up?
Guardians was one of my biggest mistakes. So I didn't see Guardians 1 in theaters.
You're a fool.
I was a fool. I was working, unfortunately. Guess how long it took me to see Guardians?
Right before Guardians 2.
No, not that far, but my parents got it at Redbox.
Really?
My parents got it at Redbox. So you might be thinking, okay, Joey, so you watched it and you liked it. No. My parents got it at Redbox. I came home from work. They were halfway through the movie. I stopped and I watched it for about 20 minutes, and then I went and I did something else.
Yoda.
Probably. But my friends would not shut up about that fucking movie. It's like, I only saw 15 minutes. This has to suck. Went back, rewatched it. Oh my god. We brought up risks before and how Marvel, especially that like Iron Man 2, Thor 2 era, disgusting, no risks, boring. Joey's right. They went to space with a fucking raccoon in a tree.
Biggest risk.
Who the hell decided? Who the hell decided that after Iron Man and Captain America's success, they have to go to space with a green chick?
Exactly.
I have a counter argument to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think things stopped being a risk once they're like, all right, if we put enough names on this poster, it'll do good.
Sure, they cast a big name, but not Chris Pratt wasn't big.
No, he was not at all at that point. Yeah.
Really? You don't think so?
I mean, no Saldana a little bit, and
Vin Diesel, obviously. Bradley Cooper, obviously.
This is my thing. We do not live in the same Hollywood that we did in the 90s. People don't just go to movies because of the actor anymore. The only people that they do that for are like Pitt, Leo. I don't know. I mean, it's just so different now that, yeah, even if Chris Pratt was a name, some of his shit still bombs. But yeah, man, I mean, fucking Glenn Howerton was almost Star-Lord. It was like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, I mean, at that point, he was still chubby Chris Pratt. That was great on Parks and Rec, but like a small little comedic character and everything else. You know what I mean? So that was huge. That was a huge risk, you know, casting him. And I don't know. I mean... I wouldn't even say, I mean, Bradley Cooper, sure, but I mean, he was just voicing Rocket Raccoon. And I don't know, man. I mean, even with Dave Bautista, I mean, even that, you know?
They made you fucking like a tree.
Yeah, they made you like a fucking tree.
Yeah, Vin Diesel was casted, but he said Groot. That's it.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
Did he mocap? I'm pretty sure he mocapped.
I don't think so.
I mean, he might have, but at the same time, you're not going to tell me that you thought it was Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
I only knew that because of a name on a poster.
That's what I'm saying, though.
I mean, yeah, and even think of like the other characters they had, just like, you know, fucking Sean Gunn, who is his biggest role was on Gilmore Girls, which I loved him on it. Don't get me wrong, but like,
why the fuck do I keep hearing about Gilmore Girls?
Because it's a great show. Anyway, moving on. That's S tier, yeah.
S tier.
But yeah, man, I mean, even when you think about this ragtag team within the movie, you kind of have the same context when you think about how this movie was made and who it was made with and by. So I think it was just such a big risk. And I don't know, man. I just love this movie so much.
Do some comparisons, because like, compare Avengers to Guardians. Guardians was a better team building movie than Avengers was.
That's true.
It was. But Guardians, I think, is easily S tier because they made the general public. They made a general public cry for a tree.
I mean,
that nobody knew.
A tree and a fucking raccoon in space, and they weren't like, "Oh, we need to add RDJ."
Right.
Into this movie so that way they can carry these characters.
That's another thing. When I go into my self-isolation thing, how this movie stands alone, you'll see all these fucking movies be like, oh, well, this was Tony Stark's buddy. Oh, well, Tony Stark wore this jacket, and that's where this movie comes from. This movie, the jackets, this movie depended on nothing except really these characters that it was bringing into the limelight of mainstream media. And the fact that it fucking did that,
amazing.
It was insane. It was fucking insane.
Soundtrack, everybody knows the soundtrack.
Well, I forget. Yeah, I keep forgetting the fucking soundtrack. Fucking
Randy brought that up.
Fucking
10 so hard.
That's an thing. The
soundtrack was so good that it charted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That never happens. That's so rare.
Yeah, especially nowadays. You know, nobody gives really a fuck about movie soundtracks anymore.
Mm-hmm.
it just. I mean, it doesn't. It just.
Also, directing and writing, James Gunn.
I was gonna say
it propelled James Gunn to such a likable status.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say though,
everybody loves James Gunn.
Not his best superhero movie. Just saying.
We know you love Super, James.
I love Super. It's awesome. It's like Kick-Ass but better. Anyways, and I love Kick-Ass. But yeah, I mean, I. So here's the thing. Looking at this current list, for me, take S tier and move everything down 1 point. I think that the best one is Winter Soldier, and I would give that a strong 8 to a light 9.
Mm-hmm.
So Guardians of the Galaxy to me is an 8, so I would feel more comfortable putting it to an A tier.
Oh, I have an A tier. I have a top A.
But if we want to put an S, that's fine. I just want to get my voice out there.
I don't think it's a
9 out of 10.
I'm kind of doing this thing where I'm kind of doing a middle ground thing, kind of judging it like a movie, but kind of judging it like what Marvel thing is.
Cool. Totally cool.
But I'd have to say A. But like I said, I don't think, for me personally, without giving anything away, I don't think I would put really anything in S tier.
No, I don't at all.
If we're talking about S tier means a perfect everything.
Well, that's exactly. Yes.
Then no, none of these movies are going to be there.
That's kind of my point.
But then there's no point in having an S tier.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, but at the same note, I almost would want to put it in S tier or something, just because with my logic, I don't think any movie's a perfect movie. I mean, I have my list of what I think, but there's nothing I would change about it. I mean, I think they could have leaned a little bit harder, but then again, for this being the first time we're introducing this characters that only a fucking fraction, that really read, gave a shit about, for it to come out the way it did, I don't know. There's nothing I would really, I don't know. I'm so in love with this movie. And James Gunn is a hero for underdogs, and that's a theme of his movies, and I love that.
He's he's like a house flipper. He takes shit that is fucking drowning and then makes it successful.
I wish him and Pam would have worked out.
They broke up in 2008. That was way before this.
They didn't break up in my heart till 2 months ago.
Oh
damn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
So I'm cool with throwing in S. I think it's A.
I would put it A.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Yeah.
All right.
A. I mean, compromising between the two kind of logics I'm judging off of. Yeah. A.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. We're compromising. We're forming the Guardians.
She would have said S if there were any goddamn answer.
And I'm scared about this next one because I think we probably agree on this.
I loathe it. I loathe this movie.
Do you really?
I hate it.
Oh, okay.
He loathes it.
Here's the thing. It gave me my favorite MCU character, being
Hawkeye?
Wanda.
Oh.
It's Wanda. She's my favorite.
Yeah.
And overpowered. But I think this is D tier, maybe F.
I have nothing to say about this movie.
It's D. I can't throw it in F. I think it's D tier.
I'm throwing it in F.
Really? You're harsher than me.
The only good thing that the only thing I liked about this movie,
Wanda?
No. She was fine. I like her better in other stuff. I think it's funny that she just dropped the accent.
Yeah, what happened to the accent?
But I liked Hawkeye in this movie. This movie made me like Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye because he wasn't a plot device to give them conflict.
Hawkeye, more like hot guy.
Yeah. I liked him.
That's just Jeremy, he's a good actor, but yeah,
I didn't like Ultron. I didn't think he was scary. I thought his design was shit. I don't think a robot should have curvy, bendy lips, especially when it looks like that. It just the CGI just didn't look good to me.
Who plays him again?
James Spader, Robert California.
Oh yeah, duh.
And from a bunch of movies 20 years ago. Jeremy Renner. He's from Hurt
Locker. He was in the Hurt Locker.
So you have yours, you said D or F, Joey?
I gotta be honest, man. I I really didn't like it. So I don't know. Like I don't want to say F because there is something I can say I liked about it, but kind of F, yeah.
So like low D.
That's my lowest D tier.
Okay.
Are we putting it at the front of F or where are we putting it?
Well, Joey, what is yours? Which one's yours, big guy?
Motherfuckers, I'm going with C tier.
Whoa!
Whoa! Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Here we go. He's gonna convince me it's S now.
So, why is it C tier? Because everything needs glue. Age of Ultron, when it first came out, absolutely fucking terrible. D or F tier. The best part of the movie when it came out and you were viewing it was the beginning. Seeing the Avengers work as a team was so cool. The party sequence, oh my god.
It was fun.
Oh my god, it was so much fun seeing Cap almost lift the hammer.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
But we're talking about glue, right? Talking about foreshadowing. We got Black Panther, we got Wanda, we got Quicksilver, which, just wait, it will pay off.
I know it better. I love
it will pay off.
What's his name?
Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Yeah,
it will pay off. I really wish the concept art came true with what they were going to do with Ultron. The concept art that they had, all the bots came together and formed like one like serpent bot almost that like acted more like a wave. It was really cool, but that's not the case, right? Ultron, James Spader kills it early on, but yeah, the design was probably the worst part about Ultron, right? But you got Vision, you got Wanda, you got Black Panther being able to build off of it.
Wait, what did they reference with Black Panther? I totally forget.
Fuck, why can't I remember
Wakanda.
Of course they mentioned Wakanda, but like Claw's in the movie, and I don't remember what's the vibranium, not vibranium, right?
No, it's
vibranium's the material.
Yeah,
are we sure, or is that Wolverine's?
No.
That's what Wakanda is powered by. Yeah,
vibranium.
I don't remember.
What it was. The fact that Ultron needed to go get all that world building that they did does pay off with Thanos, with everybody. At the time, it sucked. But if you go back and watch it as almost a prequel to like everything that's going on in Phase 3, worked really well.
Yeah, but couldn't you argue that's fan service in a way?
It was shitty fan service.
All of Marvel's MCU's fan service.
I know. Okay, I'm glad you said it.
I'm sorry.
No, a lot of it's true. I think that's why I like Guardians so much because it's kind of not. Aside from having Thanos, but he played a pivotal role. Like I think he was in there for a purpose. Yeah. Okay. I'll say D. I'll say low D.
That's where I put it.
You changed my mind. You changed my mind a little bit because there were
movie at the time.
I don't think it's a great movie anyway, but there are moments. There are moments that I like. The party scene was really fun.
It was fun.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool humanizing. It was not enough hands. It was cool humanizing them for a second and just seeing them be people. But no, I didn't like Ultron and so much of it. I didn't like.
Yeah. Not enough ants. D tier.
Not enough ants. Get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna start a petition to remove it from canon for not having ants, or they have to do like a George Lucas kind of cut.
Did you say from Cannes, like the film festival?
No, they have to get out of canon. Out of canon, unless they do like a George Lucas kind of.
James, it's the fourth. It's the fourth.
Oh, dude, it's so hard. What do we think? I put it at the bottom of D, but.
I've still got an F.
I think but I think it's better than Thor.
That's a good argument, but I will die on the hill that it's an F. I think it's bottom 3.
It is the glue when it comes to Marvel, man.
I thought we all were going to have the same bottom 3.
I think it's either bottom 3 or 4. Like, I don't see it being much higher. I don't see it making it out of bottom 5.
Then we'll leave it at the lowest of D, since all three of us. Since Joey's high C, me and JD are D, low D, and you're F, we'll leave it in D. So that is Ant-Man. JD, you want to take this one?
I fucking love Ant-Man, bitch. I haven't seen it in a minute, but I remember at the time it was just one of my favorites. Same thing. I mean, yeah, you got Paul Rudd and you got fucking. I know his dad's name is Kurt. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas. But I don't know, man. Like, if I remember correctly, I feel like it was pretty self-isolated. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen it in a minute, but
I don't remember anything about Ant-Man at all.
Here's one thing I liked about it. It wasn't the end of the world. It was about a corporation.
Thank you.
The world wasn't ending.
It was honestly kind of a taste breaker for me. It was a taste breaker for me. It was kind of a fresher breath air. I could relax for a second. I wasn't sweating. I was just having a fun time. I really liked Scott's story. I kind of liked how they treated him. Paul Rudd, I mean, if you put Paul Rudd in something, it instantly gets a couple points from me.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
I don't know. I would have to... Fuck, man. Me personally, but I'm just saying this purely just because of personal feelings. I can't really speak for it structurally. I'd have to say like low B or high C.
That's fair. So my relationship with this movie is weird.
And it sets up really cool stuff that's used later.
Yeah. This was my favorite Marvel movie for a long time. But over time, my third favorite working director, or director in general, is Edgar Wright. And he got fucking screwed over with this movie. He got screwed over hard. And he wrote the script, or at least some of it. I think they even changed it a good bit. But
yeah, they had a few people write it.
Yeah, so this one would be like an easy low B or high C for me. But because I'm kind of mad about that, I did put it in D tier. But I think, yeah, I know. I'll put it in. I'm cool with C or low B, but I want to express my disdain for what they did to Edgar Wright.
Also, I will say, I know some people disagree. I actually really liked. I thought the villain was cool in it.
Oh, I liked it too. I'm glad it wasn't the end of the world.
I think Corey, what's his fuck name? I thought Corey Stoll. I thought he was really good.
What else was he in?
He's been in a few things. My favorite movie of his is this movie called This Is Where I Leave You. It's an underrated movie. But he's a good actor, and I thought he was really cool in this, and like he kind of falls into this category of Marvel villains and MCU I prefer, and he kind of goes along with somebody else that we'll see in a couple movies that we're going to talk about. More human, more anger driven. I don't know. I think when you humanize a villain just a little bit, it makes them a little bit more intimidating, and there's a little bit more risk involved. But yeah, I don't know.
Randy,
I'm fine with C.
You're fine with C?
I'm fine with C.
Joey, what do you got?
Yeah, easily a C tier movie. I mean, unfortunately, it was the start of Marvel movies are just taking the protagonist and making the same powers as the antagonist, just like carbon copy, which Ant-Man falls to risk to. However,
Iron Man, all three of them do.
However, the best point is that it's contained. It's not the end of the world, and they were trying to prove that these smaller movies could work, which they do. Obviously, not to as big as $2 billion movie, but it works. You can still make money, and the public will see a movie called Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hard sell. That was a very hard sell for a movie, and it did well. Did fine.
Paul Rudd is sugar for the pill, though.
Yep.
So C tier, more than enough ants? What do we think? Not enough ants? C tier?
Needed more ants.
Needed more ants. Needed a little more ants.
Needed a stronger villain.
I think it's better than Iron Man.
Had a great setup.
I like it more than the first Iron Man.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I'll watch it before I watch it. I'll watch Ant-Man before I watch that again, probably.
Yeah, me too. All right, cool. That was pretty... I thought that one was going to be more controversial. I'm just mad about the whole Edgar Wright situation.
Me too, because it would have... I mean, it would have been better.
Yeah, because none of the movies have good... none of the movies have exceptional editing, and this was their one shot for it. And they kind of blew it. Anyways, wow, that's the end of Phase 2. I didn't know it ended at Ant-Man. Phase 3, Captain America Civil War.
Banger.
Oh, you know what, Richie, you get it started. Or Richie, Randy, you get it started. You want to talk about this one?
You know what I did to see Civil War? You know what? I skipped prom to go see Civil War at like 1 p.m.
My hero.
I skipped prom for that, and then I saw it again that same night. Like, it's
Civil War is like my favorite.
War is so solid. It does so much for the franchise, or for the entire MCU. It sets up Black Panther as a really likable character.
No, it genuinely.
It does. It pits Tony versus Cap, and I think one of the best fight scenes in the entire MCU is when Tony, Cap, and Bucky are fighting.
Yes.
I think that alone is just top 3 maybe fight scenes in the entire MCU.
It was sweaty.
It was so. It was not only sweaty, but it was also emotional. It was palpable. The hatred Tony had for Bucky, you could taste it. You could taste how much he wanted to kill this man, and you could also taste how much Steve wanted to save both of them from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it does everything so well.
Within an inch of his life, multiple lives, he had to make those decisions. So I like it a lot.
How did you feel about the villain
of Civil War?
The friends we made along the way.
Who was the villain?
Well, it was nobody. But what's his name? What's his fucking name?
His name is Baron Zemo.
Zemo was cool. I think that...
I think he was a missed opportunity. I don't know.
I think he was definitely a missed opportunity, but I also love the moment with him and T'Challa. I love the moment where T'Challa stops him from killing him.
He was just a vehicle.
He was just there to get the started.
He was there. Yeah, he was there the same reason Kingpin was there in Spider-Verse. It was just a vehicle.
My turn?
Yeah. Let's hear it, lawyer.
The villain was not bad. So Baron Zemo, why Baron Zemo works and why Aldrin Killian didn't work is Baron Zemo was the best villain. He didn't have to do anything. Like he had a plan all along, and obviously the whole point of the movie is to watch Tony and Cap beat the shit out of each other, right? Yeah. Like that is the lead up, right? So he didn't have to do anything to be a great villain, but he still accomplished his plan, and he kind of won, right? He tore the Avengers apart, did everything he wanted to kind of avenge his family. And this is my my argument to try to get you guys to keep moving up your Ultron. Without Ultron, you don't get the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, you don't.
Which are huge in this.
They're huge, but I don't care that much about.
But I'll say this:
you'll change your mind by the end of the night.
But tomato. You could have set that up whatever that slot for Ultron needed to be.
Sure.
The fact that Ultron serves more purpose being a precursor to a Captain America movie, I think that alone.
Yeah, especially when you think of it as an Avengers movie. Yeah.
It's an Avengers movie, but the best part about it was that it set up Civil War.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about the airport scene. We're not even talking about how
that was just amazing.
That was so sick. The editing on it could have looked way better. It could have looked so much prettier, but the fact that even though it was so grayed out, it still looked that cool, and it was still that fun for everyone.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland got introduced in this movie.
Yeah.
Yep. What a way to introduce Spider-Man.
He's still
there's iconic shots too.
Yeah.
Like them running at each other.
Yeah, there's just something to say about the Russo brothers, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're the shit. And yeah, man, this was a huge thing. Like when that trailer dropped and the Hey Everyone happened, I lost my shit. But yeah, even with T'Challa, are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. I remember I actually found out the other day. My buddy Cade messaged me because I posted the video on my Instagram story of them at D23 when Robert Downey Jr. goes, and here he is, Chadwick Boseman, and everybody lost their shit because they just found out he was playing. And my buddy goes, yeah, I was there. I go, what? Fuck you. So it's just moments like that and finding out, these introductions, these characters. Yeah, the action was great. It had a lot of heart-wrenching scenes to it, like gut-wrenching. I don't know. It wasn't the Civil War from the books, but it was what it was, and it was awesome.
Definitely top 3 fight scenes.
Easy A tier for me. Easy A tier.
Yeah,
I agree. It's
it's
one of the staples for this universe.
Yeah, if you're gonna pick like only 5 movies to watch from the MCU, that's gonna be one of them.
I like it better than the first 2 Avengers movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I better Avengers
highest
A.
Exactly.
Highest A.
Either highest A or lowest S, because it doesn't work alone. However, everything else that it does is phenomenal for future movies and past movies.
I would still keep Guardians above it. As much as I love Civil War,
Guardians is above it for me.
It's just different. It just hit.
I like Civil War more, but I mean, we do have it sandwiched, and that's fine.
It hit different.
It did what it accomplished. What they set out to accomplish with that movie worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they tore the Avengers apart very, very believably.
I will say this also. I don't know if you guys are doing the same thing. I kind of give points to a movie that can be self-contained, but I don't necessarily take away when it's not, just because of what the context is of this universe.
Well, my favorite is something that doesn't work at all self-contained. So
that's fine. Hey, as long as we throw it out there, as long as you guys say why, you can give points to whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, that was pretty easy. What's next on the list? Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Slept on banger.
It's so thank you.
Slept on.
I want to smooch. Thank you so much. I fucking love this movie, dude.
I thought Benedict Cumberbatch killed it.
He was fucking phenomenal. And dude, the visuals, man. I loved the visuals in this movie. When they fucking got all psychedelic and shit,
it went an entirely different direction.
Exactly. Once again, it's a palate cleanser for me. I don't know. I don't know. I just loved it. I'm very excited for the sequel.
I also saw it in 3D, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I hate 3D movies. I can't stand 3D movies.
Yeah,
but this shit 3D.
Yeah, when it's made for, definitely one top 3 cinematic. Like, you had to see this one in a theater, I think. Like,
sure.
I'm very happy I saw it in theater.
But I can watch it though. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's above average, if not slightly above that. Like, just ever so slightly above average.
I've got it at the bottom of B.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's fun. Oh yeah, that's fine. Bottom of B, high C. I put it in high C. I'm cool with that. Joey, what about you?
It is a high B. I think that's low, unfortunately for me. But I think there was a lot, and I mean a lot, they could have done better. Doctor Strange, I hold it to Guardians because they're introducing an entirely new world of the MCU that has to work well. And it worked well, but the villain was so lackluster. Mads Mikkelsen... It looked sweet. The visuals and the whole idea behind Doctor Strange's magic.
Yeah.
Sweet. Villain sucked.
I really just don't like him, to be honest. Everybody's like, he's great. He should play this, this, and this. I'm not a big fan of him.
Did you ever watch Hannibal?
I've seen a few, but it just looks basic to me.
Oh, that's who that is?
Somebody recently told me to watch it, but
please work your way through Hannibal.
Hannibal's sick.
Hannibal is one of the greatest love stories of all time, and I need you to go through it.
Will you watch Cobra Kai?
I plan to.
Okay,
I
watched it. It's on Netflix. Netflix bought it, and they're making a season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
it's fucking phenomenal. Like, even I was very okay. We'll talk about that later, but it was amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking like. We agreed with like.
I think it's better than Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I think it's better than Iron Man 3 for sure.
I don't, but
I have a soft spot for Iron Man 3.
So do I. I love it.
I don't.
I think it's a good movie because of what it does, but also as a movie as a whole, Doctor Strange is a more rounded out movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I definitely like Iron Man 3 more, but I will put it above Iron Man 3 since Joey and I have kind of gotten our way for the rest of the list. So that's totally cool.
All right, next up, Grown Ups 2, S tier.
No, you fucker. Guardians of the Galaxy? No. Yeah, Guardians 2. I wish Richie were here for this one. He loves this one.
I actually like Guardians 2 more than Guardians 1.
It's kick-ass.
It's so good.
I think Richie does too.
It's such a sweet. It's fucking so much.
Everything that Guardians did right, Guardians 2 came along and was like, no. This is how you really do it. Like everything about this movie, even Chris Pratt having a daddy complex.
Mm-hmm.
That was phenomenal. And
well, they took the idea of ego and kind of fucked with it. You know what I mean?
They did what they wanted.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
Another banging soundtrack. The colors in this movie, amazing. The death scene of Michael Rooker's character, whatever.
Yondu.
Yeah, Yondu, where the funeral for that looked brilliant. The funeral for that was amazing.
One of my favorite openings of an MCU movie.
Yeah, they knew that was probably written first.
That was so good.
It was written before. I think this is the second best MCU movie.
I love it.
At the bottom of S tier for me.
I have an A tier, well B tier, but A tier for this list. I
gotta agree with Randy. I think.
Joey, what do you think?
I think it's a high A. I think the only reason I think that Guardians 1 was better is because it had to do more. It had to make us like the characters. However, Guardians 2 seriously was the opposite of Iron Man 2. It built upon everything it needed to, but still was able to have you like the villain but hate the villain, and it was great.
Explored new areas of all the characters. It's hard.
And relationships.
It introduced Nebula too, and Nebula had a pretty decently
Yeah,
it wasn't huge, but she had a pretty sizable part.
It was bigger than her brief stint in 1.
Yeah. I mean, I think you said
Groot.
Yeah, I mean, you said it really well, Ray. Like everything they did right in the first one was like, catapult. Like the heart in this movie, the amount that I felt for Quill.
Oh yeah,
was
when
fucking.
You killed him up? When did you kill my mom?
It was so fucking much. It was overwhelming. And then you did you fuck my fucking mom? You have that, but then you just dude, the fucking shit with Yondu made me bawl my fucking eyes out.
He's Mary Poppins, y'all. Like I don't know.
I mean, when he said he might be your father, but he ain't never been your daddy. That shit.
Oh.
I mean, it ripped me. I fucking love that fucking movie. Is just I love the Guardian. I love both of them so much. They're my favorites, and Guardians 2 is just everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians are so good.
I think it's the second best one. But here's the thing:
it's just a well-rounded movie.
I think it's the second best one, but I still see Winter Soldier as leagues above it, which is why I have Winter Soldier. Like I'm cool with putting it up there, but I would prefer to keep this one at the top of A.
We could argue.
Also,
here at the end.
Yeah, we can come back.
I will say, because Joey's always talking about glue. You guys remember what 2 set up?
Yeah.
You guys
Age
remember
of Ultron.
Mr. Warlock.
All right, we'll come back to this one to debate where it goes. All right, I'll leave it here for now.
Leave it in S tier, and I think we should debate S tier.
Yeah, we'll debate this one.
Adam.
I also like the soundtrack for.
I really hope Zac Efron is playing Adam Warlock.
I hope he dates me.
Homecoming.
I hope that for you too.
Homecoming.
I think it's above average. I like it. It's got heart. I'm happy to see Tom Holland, but I mean,
I think Joey seems like he wants to do this. You want to start?
I want to go last.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
it's okay. It's fine.
It's good.
It's one of the first good villains, like one of the first really good villains in the MCU.
That I think Michael Keaton is. He might be my favorite, to be completely. He's one of my favorite villains in the MCU. I think, like I said, when you humanize the villain, you give them. They did with. It's kind of the same reason I think Mr. Freeze is my favorite Batman villain, is because when you give somebody this edge of something that their heart is drawn to, it makes it a little bit more ruthless, because when you add that element into it, there's this motivation that's kind of unlike anything else that we feel as people. So when you add that, all kind of, it's all bets are off at that point. He was great.
Mr. Freeze is maybe even the best villain, period, but
he was great. In retrospect, looking at everything now, I do have a lot of problems with where they're taking Spider-Man, like what they've done with certain things. But it was good. I mean, the first time I saw it, I flipped shit because there's just so much, and it was good seeing Spider-Man back. Yeah. But it was good. It was good. I don't know. It's good.
It's fine. I would put it C tier. I would put it like right next to Ant-Man.
I would have to say B.
B?
Yeah, because if I'm gonna
top of my C tier, it's at the top of my C tier. So
yeah,
I mean, low B, high C, either works for me.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to make my own tier list for some of this.
Yeah,
because I'm all about heart. The shit where he was lifting up the asphalt off of him really worked for me.
Yeah.
For actually acknowledging how strong Spider-Man is.
Yeah, mentally and physically. I mean, shit like that gets me. And I said, if I'm gonna put Iron Man 3 where it is, I can't not say other movies that are technically more rounded than it should be where it's at. So I think B. I think B.
All right, Joey.
I feel like I still need a second because I'm trying to figure out. Oh God, what was that movie called?
You mean Dupree?
True.
I need to figure out the director.
Me and Marley.
It was cool to see. It was cool to see Spider-Man as a kid this time, like as a high school child.
One you can buy, yes. One you can believe at least a little fucking bit.
Also, loves Zendaya. Loves Zendaya.
Yeah, she's talented.
But then again, and it's not because I like the actor a lot. I don't like what they did to Flash Thompson. I feel like it was a gimmick. It was a gimmick that on paper could have worked, but I think they fucking botched it. I don't know, man. I rather would have seen him just be a douchebag. Like just a fucking big imposing douchebag.
Yeah,
and plus this is my thing, man. I would really love to, what is it, Agent Venom? That Flash Thompson eventually becomes Venom. I'm not saying they'll ever do it.
I could never see this kid being Venom.
Exactly. That's kind
I don't think they're going to.
Well, no, not with him. No.
Well, just with I don't think they set up anything with Spider-Man just because the rights were so fucky. I'm sure. I mean, the argument too is like they want to be able to pigeonhole Sony with all the fans attacking them. Which works,
I feel like it could easily be done. I mean, in the next 5 years, it's something that could easily be done. I mean, just look at how quickly they brought Spider-Man in and introduced so much of his shit. I mean, it could be done if they really wanted to. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like they tried to not make Flash just a useless character and be one-dimensional. But what they ended up doing was making him a useless character that was one-dimensional.
And it's a shame, too, because the kid that plays him is
Tony Revolori. I think he's a great actor.
Great actor.
He's the shit.
Grand Budapest.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
That's my favorite Wes Anderson film, I think.
So it's kind of a damn shame on that one. That one kind of bummed me out. There's some things that didn't pan out. I thought Hannibal Buress as the gym teacher was a fun little ditty.
Finally,
I love that. Yeah, I don't know. They set up. I hope to God they bring him back as the Prowler. Donald Glover. Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Yeah.
I hope to. No, I can't imagine Hannibal climbing up walls and shit.
He's cheap, but I don't see that happening.
But that would be amazing. Obviously, they're going to do Miles Morales eventually. But I don't know. I have problems with how they're doing Spider-Man, to be completely honest. But this first film, it was good. It was good.
While Joey collects his thoughts, I thought Spider-Verse was perfect. How'd you feel about that?
Fucking titties of a movie.
9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. All right, Joey.
So banger.
Easily an A tier for me.
What?
For some of the same reasons that you guys. Easily some of the reasons that you guys mentioned. The villain.
Michael Keaton was amazing.
How
do you love Michael Keaton?
Spider-Man is like Batman. I mean, the villains that Spider-Man has are phenomenal, but Vulture was not one of them, and
Birdman.
It was phenomenal in this, man. The tying between Iron Man and Spider-Man was very important to Sony, but the way that they did it, I actually loved. Now, this wasn't beaten to death until Far From Home, in my opinion. I really liked the idea that we got a kid Spider-Man. You guys, this was the third iteration of Spider-Man. They had to do some changes. I mean, we all know the fucking Uncle Ben story. We all know Bruce Wayne's parents died, you know? So they took Spider-Man and made him into a kid. And this was a John Hughes Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
That was so much fun.
The first one was, yes.
Thank you for not making another like Andrew Garfield movie.
Look,
I
don't.
They did make another one. There's two. That's the
no.
Can we not? Because I have a soft spot and I hate defending stuff that I like always.
Okay, so
Spider-Man:
I have
Homecoming
another list for that.
Really good movie and a very good introduction to Spider-Man and Spider-Man's own universe. I mean, it is in the MCU, but it's not. But it is. But like that introduction was great.
Yeah,
and it's so good to see Spider-Man back.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of seeds that they planted for what the future can be. I doubt they will, but then again, they did make his name that for some reason. So Ned leads in the comic books as Hobgoblin, but his physical features and how he acts is a lot like, I forget his name, but it's a lot like Miles Morales' best friend in his comics, so it's kind of confusing. But kind of setups like that are really cool. I'm really excited to see what they do with Scorpion. But yeah, like you said, that's kind of the reason I love it, is because it was so much a John Hughes Spider-Man movie, which is amazing. I hope one day they make a John Hughes X-Men movie.
More likely it'd be an X-Men series that would be like
Yeah, I like it. I love it. I do love Homecoming. It was really cool for me. Yeah, I mean Michael Keaton was just titties. He was absolutely, when he got, "I'll kill you dead." That shit was awesome. I liked the relationship between him and Tony Stark. This is my thing, and this has nothing to do with the final product of the movie, nor does it really have to do with actually Marvel. I wish they weren't like, "Hey, here's a trailer. JK, it's the whole movie in 3 minutes," when they released that trailer.
Yeah, dude, that's Sony.
But yeah, I mean, I love the movie, and I like it, but my heart loves it. I don't know how to explain what I mean, but
I like it, but A tier is fucking high.
I would be fine with low B.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry,
well, I put it in debate time. I put it into debate time with Guardians Volume 2.
Okay.
So we'll come back to that one. But I mean, so far the ones we're debating over is like just a race to second. Like, we love it. Okay. So earlier I was reading the rules and I said that there was a movie that we all share the same controversial opinion on, I think.
I hope so, because I have one that I don't know a lot of people agree with.
And it's Thor Ragnarok.
I love Thor Ragnarok. I saw
you do? Oh, never mind.
And I hated it, and I thought I didn't like it at first, and then I rewatched it without him shitting on it the entire time, and it's fun. I don't care that they made him stupid and dumb. I like it way more than him being medieval and not likable in the slightest.
I respect that. And is honestly real shit. As far as Thor, that's fine. As far as his character, yeah, and like we'll get into how I feel about Thor in later movies. I personally, the movie pisses me off.
That's what I thought we were going to get to. Yeah,
I think it was just overset. Like, I loved Taiki. I think it was a cool movie to look at some point.
He's amazing. Yeah.
I think the motherfucker, what's his name? The fucking, hey guys, the guy that he voiced.
Rock Boy, I forget his name.
Cork.
Shit's funny. That shit's funny. even though it's oversaturated with just jokes, and this and this, I don't know. There wasn't really like the whole villain shit. I think you had a really cool opportunity with fucking Kate Blanchett. I don't think it paid off. I didn't really feel much when I found out everything and that they were. I don't know. I think it
is one of my favorite scenes in the MCU.
That's good. I'm glad. That makes me happy.
I'll put it right on the refrigerator for you.
Most people feel that way. Most people feel that way about the movie.
Most people have it as the highest rated one.
Yeah, well,
it's the highest rated, critically acclaimed, but I think it's dumb and stupid. This
is why I think it is. It's because, and I don't know anything about psychology as far as terms, but this is the thing. Horror and comedy are two of the most visceral genres in a film. It's because they make you feel the most, they make you think of the most, they make you imagine the most, all that. You get the most guttural reaction from those. That's why in so many movies, people always go, oh, dude, I loved that character. And it always ends up being the funny character because even though some shit, a lot of stuff's under the surface, more subtle, whatever the fuck words you want to use. With funny, it's just such a blatant, upfront, guttural reaction that you immediately know you're feeling. And I think this movie was rated so high just because it was like, oh, it was funny, always. Just because people thought it was so goddamn funny. I think that's kind of the reason why so many people suck its dick, to be honest. Also, I fucking hated what they did to fucking Bruce Banner. I fucking hate what they did with Mark Ruffalo's character. They made him a fucking idiot. If you want to do that with Thor and kind of make him like a goofy frat boy, that's fine. We'll get into it later. I like what they did with Thor down the road. But what they did to Bruce Banner just pissed me the fuck off. I don't know, man. I took him less seriously than Thor. And
yeah, he was just big, dumb, strong guy.
Like when this is my thing. When you want to deconstruct, if you want to deconstruct a character and kind of flip it on its head, that's fine. Start out with that shit because even though I'm not crazy about how they've treated Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner, they still had a little bit of seriousness and integrity to him. And then having him like fall on the ground and like fucking make all these bad jokes and like be a goofball. I didn't vibe with a lot of this movie. I thought Jeff Goldblum having him in there was cool. I thought the fucking thing, what was the bit? I think it was in this movie. I don't fucking remember. The fucking throw a brother. I thought that was funny as fuck. Where like he would throw low. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Yeah, but outside of that,
The Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I just have so many problems with this movie.
Yeah,
it ultimately outweighs anything kind of good I have to say about it.
Yeah.
That being said, I love Taika Waititi, but my favorite film of What We Do in the Shadows is still my favorite movie of his. I think he's the shit. This in no way reflects how I feel about him. Sorry, I keep talking, but that's how I feel.
You're totally good. I think I strike a balance. You cool if I go, Joe? You cool if I go right now?
Go for it.
Okay. I think that this movie is the product of the weight of expectations weighed on the Thor franchise. No one thought that Thor sucked, and this was their chance to fix it, and making it funny was like definitely the safest, best, and easier route to go.
Remember how it was originally
to go?
Do you remember how it was originally advertised?
No, I don't.
Like the title card and shit. It was completely different. It was very I think it was like lava-ish and like really dark and shit. And then one day, I don't know what happened, but then it went to this route.
Someone figured it out because this is definitely one of the more successful Marvel movies. I know a ton of people who rate this top 3, and a couple who even put this as their favorite Marvel movie. I get it, and I think they made the right decision from a business perspective, and probably the safe decision for just Thor's legacy as a whole. That being said, it's kind of an overdose for me. It's too much. I'm taken out of it. It's a beautiful movie though, just to look at, it's very beautiful. But I definitely overdosed on the comedy way early on. Like with the shake weight, at that moment I was already kind of clocked out. Like it needed to slow down. I I would put it in like high C tier, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I have it top of B. I don't like love it.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I mean, I do like it quite a bit. I think that it took a really shitty character in Thor and a character that really couldn't find out what it wanted to do in Hulk and made them both kind of this ragtag frat boy duo, which, I mean, whatever, Thor, but doing that shit to Bruce Banner does suck, but I think it worked. It's for me personally. And again, the movie looks beautiful. I think the comedy hits for the most part. Obviously, it doesn't always hit, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for this movie. I love that they took Thor and they went, "Oh, this is garbage. Let's just blow this whole thing up, and we'll leave."
I do respect that. Yeah,
they did that.
Yeah, I do respect that.
This movie just erased Thor 1 and 2 entirely from my memory, and I only think about Thor 1 and 2 when it's brought up to me. And that's because Ragnarok just did something entirely different and destroyed Thor 1 and 2 in my mind, which is good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what Randy said. I mean, like...
No ants.
Either low... My opinion's low A or high B. I mean, Thor Ragnarok, unfortunately, was a product, but it was a good one. I mean, this was a team-up movie between Thor and Hulk. What they did to Hulk's Bruce Banner's character in this, I personally did not like either. However, the fact that he had his own character, this is the first time like he was in a movie like
they figured out what to do with this movie. They knew what
he got some plot. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Banner hasn't had plot since the original Hulk,
which we all forgot about.
Yeah. So my opinions aren't strong. I think Hela was wasted potential. I think that she Kate Blanchett was amazing.
Yeah.
I think she killed it, and then they just at the end just kind of like wasted potential, man.
She's hot.
You think so?
Yeah,
she's no Wanda, but it's not whatever.
I do also just have a soft spot for lightning in general. So
it had some amazing fight scenes.
Come on.
So
like your leg isn't a lightning rod.
Let the record show lightning is Randy's ants.
It's true. No, it's very true. I would do anything for lightning.
So you can imagine how bad the first two Thor films were.
Yeah. Not enough ants. No duality. So, I was thinking high C, low B. I'm cool. Joe, you're thinking low A, high B.
I cannot sit here and have Iron Man 3 rated above Thor Ragnarok.
I think that's fair.
I can't do that.
That's fair.
As a human, that can't slide with me.
I'll put it this way. I don't give a fuck about this movie so much. Put it wherever you want.
I think it's going B, but Randy might be right. It might be time we drop Iron Man 3. No?
I think Iron Man 3 is the de facto lowest B.
It's going above Iron Man 3. So either it's above Iron Man 3 and B, or Iron Man 3 is C, and that's low B.
Oh my god, okay. Like right here, we don't.
I think Captain America should be between Thor and Iron Man.
I disagree.
Okay.
I love that fucking movie. And you know what? I'm gonna break the rules. I'm gonna get angry and ruin friendships over this.
There for now.
So that's boy. All right, another heavy one. Who wants to take Black Panther?
I mean, come on, it's an A. It's an A.
I put it in B, which is A here, and I think that's
Come on.
S tier.
S tier.
Absolutely S tier.
I disagree with that. Because I think the third act, the fighting and
the last fight scene was the only bad part, man.
It was bad, but the emotional core at the end worked.
Yeah.
It is a fucking good movie. I'm not gonna be a turd. What about
Killmonger?
Yeah.
Why is it not an S tier for Killmonger and the redemption of T'Challa getting Wakanda back?
It was also satisfying. It was literally what I want. It literally was a better Lion King movie than Jon Favreau's Lion King.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, fucking Forrest Gump was a better Lion King movie than Jon Favreau's Lion King.
Are you putting it over Civil War and both the Guardians?
I fucking hate
that's where I'm at.
Not over Civil War, unfortunately, but the villain, man, Killmonger, the soundtrack.
It killed maybe
everything.
The best soundtrack.
It killed everything until that final only CGI cutscene. It killed it.
Stunk.
It stunk. It was stinky doo doo.
It was very stinky doo doo.
Killmonger, what's it? Heist. The heist at the beginning.
The heist was fantastic.
The shit was great. I mean, I think just Michael B. Jordan is fantastic.
He is fantastic.
One of the only villains I'm okay with him killing right away.
I mean, it's. Fuck.
It's a sensitive topic right now. It's.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think.
Even without him dying, I'd be saying this.
I think it is right. Fuck, it's hard because I love Guardians so much for such different reasons.
I think it's probably one of the top 2 most important films in the entire MCU.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Definitely most important.
Just culturally, it's the most.
Important films ever. Easy.
Culturally, yeah.
I love. God, I fucking love it. It's so good. Everything just works. Everything they're trying to do works. Just like I said, my thing. Every character interacts with one another the way they need to get everything done. And like I said, when you humanize a villain, I just think it makes it so fucking good. And Eric was fantastic. That character was just fucking killer. And I don't know, man. Everything they did was just so good and just such a chef's kiss. And the third act bothers me, but I think Ryan Coogler's really fucking talented. I don't know, man. It's
Age of Ultron tied into it.
Fuck. Stop. I think Age of Ultron.
Jesus.
I think My Grown Ups 2 is the same thing as Joey's Age of Ultron.
Okay.
Because Grown Ups 2 ties everything in the MCU together. I don't know, man. I mean, this really. I'm not being a stupid bitch just because of the unfortunate thing that happened. Chadwick was great, and he is so important for this past decade of filmmaking and everything afterward. I don't know, man. Casting was fucking tight. I just love it. I think it's right where it needs to be. I personally
waiting for something other than the fight scene to hear what people disliked.
Exactly. I have something. I'm so sorry.
Go for it.
So 2 things. So the first thing is let's take Mac Miller or David Bowie. Both had albums come out after their passing. That I think that their passing directly influences the album. Like you can enjoy those, because Lazarus was about David Bowie's death, and Circles was about Mac Miller, which he finished before he died. Was about him making it through what he was going through, and I think that says a lot. That being said, Chadwick's passing does not affect this movie for me whatsoever.
Me neither.
But if it did for some people, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
And also, I don't separate the artist from the art. That's just another reason. But another thing. So here's my main issue with it. Not only hold your pitchforks, you should probably ignite them. I thought the cinematography was pretty shit, actually. I thought it was fucking irritating. It made me nauseous multiple times. The fucking thing where Michael B. Jordan's walking to the throne, it's like, whoa, I'm flipping it upside down. It's like, fuck,
sure.
Come on.
When you think about the movie, there's very few single shots from the movie that you'll remember forever. There's
Thank you.
Your King. There's when he's
that was a good shot.
When he's coming back up the hill.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
When he's coming back up the hill is another very iconic shot from the film.
Yeah.
And then when Killmonger drops dead. Those are the only 3 things from that movie that you could pick out and say that, this was Black Panther. But everything else, I don't know. I do love the movie. I do
too. Yeah, it's great.
I love
the soundtrack.
I wouldn't say it's best, but it's definitely top 2, easily.
Best score? Can you give me that?
Best score for sure.
Best score for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't. I don't think it's S, but I think it's A. I think
it's A.
I think I think all of our A tier movies are A tier. I don't think it's debatable if they're B or not. I just think
I agree.
A and above, everything is right.
Yeah. Yeah, I super agree.
It's personal preference on if you want that movie or the Guardians movies or Civil War to be at the top of your A. Any of them work.
Yeah. And with, a potential, well, we know that they're going to do sequels. Dude, I'm on the train that I bought the train. I've been funding the train, but
bring back Killmonger with an Infinity.
That's what I was going to. The Infinity Stones, dude. Use the one above all if you have to.
I don't care what it is. Bring back Killmonger. You're not recasting T'Challa. They're not.
Yeah,
they won't do that.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
Dream of it, and they're also not going to let that franchise die.
He'd probably have some family member they do or
a
something.
lot of people are going to be Shuri.
I want them to make that girl the
Shuri.
Yeah, they should
Shuri
use her way more.
I'm worried that why don't I remember the actress's name?
I'd love an Amazon movie with her. That would be sick. That'd be fucking cool.
I'm worried that she's not strong enough of an actress.
They didn't give her a whole lot to work with.
I know, but that character that they wrote. That would be hard to turn her into something strong.
Yeah, but it was like that with Thor. It was like that with
No, Thor and Ant-Man were both meant to be their protagonists, not a sidekick.
That's true.
They were it'd be very difficult to do, especially with the story they were writing.
Whatever they do, they're going to have to force something.
Ooh, they could make Lupita. They could do something with her because she was the love interest. They could do something with her.
I'm just genuinely hoping, and this is actually what I want. I think they should bring the one above all into the MCU just for this and never use him again. I don't know how controversial that is. He's only been brought up 14 times, I think, in the comics. But I love overwhelming shit. I love Lovecraft. As much as you can love Lovecraft and not shop at Hot Topic. And I would love to see. I unfortunately bought a ton of clothes there. I would love to see the one above all, bring him back. Do we know if they're doing Galactron?
What? Galactus?
Oh fuck, Galactus. Sorry.
Galactus yet, but he has to be that big villain. He has to be.
They will.
I can't think of a better one.
Yeah, if
they're bringing in the Fantastic Four, they're doing that.
Okay, so maybe we'll get Richards in. Maybe we'll get what's his name? Something Richards.
Reed Richards?
No, it's the Omega Mutant.
We're not getting Omega Mutants.
Franklin Richards.
Franklin Richards. I would love to see Franklin Richards be in there, but yeah, probably not. They weren't going to do Legion, which they made a show, so probably not.
I hope they do Secret Wars at some point.
No,
wait, they're doing Doctor Doom next. They're doing Doctor Doom next. I forgot about it.
I think they're trying to do, from what I understand, and of course it could be completely wrong. They want to have one Earth villain and then one huge out of the world villain.
Also, guys, real quick, I am on the phone with Richie real quick. He'll be joining us momentarily.
Okay, well, then we're going to keep stalling and talking about this one because I want to do it too because we'll wait.
Awesome. Okay, but if they nail a good Doctor Doom, it's done. That's going to be the best film.
And it should be.
They can't fuck that up.
They won't.
There's so much there.
What's the fucking chiseled motherfucker who was originally really strong and they had to nerf the hell out of him?
I have to take a small break, but I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
You gotta describe more than just chiseled.
Fuck, he was
in
like
the movies or who?
No, they nerfed him in the comics because the dude who wrote him like quit or something. But he was like, he's like the something the hold on. No, he like takes human form.
I just want John David Washington to be something.
Oh, that would be sick.
In the Marvel world.
That would be sick.
Oh man, he'd kill it. I'm so excited for Tenet tomorrow.
The Beyonder, god damn it, from Secret Wars 2, The Beyonder. Which I could see them bringing him in, the nerfed version, obviously. But yeah, I definitely want them to bring in The One Above All just to bring back Killmonger. Make it as forced as possible. Let Chadwick Boseman make it a statement, like rest in power. This is what we're doing to honor your legacy. And never use The One Above All again. Maybe for Spider-Man, since that's like the only like big time they've ever used The One Above All, is when he like takes the form of a homeless man and talks to Peter. But I would rather them just use it this once. I think that would be sick. Are you guys familiar with The One Above All, or am I talking out my ass right now?
No, I think I've seen a video on the one, like seen it once.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not familiar.
He's not only God, because like Thor, like in Marvel, there's like tons of gods.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's like.
But yeah, well, he's not only God of that universe or like even the Marvel Omniverse. He would be God of like the fucking Seinfeld universe too. Like he's so strong, and the self-awareness is like acknowledged. Like he would be the God of this world, like canonically. And it's like, oh well, what if you just made a hero stronger than him, which isn't possible because of like just the way that he works. It's like to create a character for him to be able to take him down, he could just change the intentions of that character. And then that's done. Like that is over. Like Eternity couldn't do anything. Franklin Richards. I almost said Keith Richards. Franklin Richards couldn't do anything. But he's only been there for like mentioned like 12 times and shown up twice in a Doctor Strange comic and the Spider-Man comic. I think he looks fucking crazy too. I think Phoenix Force is like a little under him.
He's
We don't talk about Phoenix Force.
No, it's not.
I didn't see Dark Phoenix, so I don't. Did they try to do it justice? Do him justice? Phoenix Force? No. That sucks.
Justice. They didn't do anything.
Damn.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Dang. I never liked the X-Men movies. I thought Logan was amazing and one of the best superhero movies. And I don't care about the rest of the X-Men movies whatsoever.
X-Men 1's really good. Days of Future Past.
Deadpool's fine if we're counting that. Deadpool's okay.
Deadpool 1 and 2 are fine. I don't know.
Whatever they choose to do with that. Are they going to tie that in? Who owns the Fantastic Four?
Disney.
Or is it Disney now?
Disney bought.
Well, they bought Fox, right? But like, I don't know how that works at all.
Yes,
they own it. And X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue how Disney works with all of that.
They just don't own Spider-Man and solo films for Hulk.
Oh yeah, because Sony owns
Spider-Man.
Sweet. I forgot about that. Wait, who owns Hulk? You said
Sony.
No, Universal owns solo films for Hulk.
They haven't been doing a whole lot with that.
They're not allowed to make them.
Great.
They just have rights to them?
They have distribution rights for any solo Hulk movie. But they're not, only Marvel is allowed to make it. So you can't do it.
But there's no contract saying that they can't do it.
That's the contract. Marvel can make a movie, but it would have to be distributed by Universal, and Universal's not going to want that because they're not going to be making money because Disney would, but Disney wouldn't be making money because they're not the distributor. It would have to all go to
capitalism, baby. Did you? Okay, look, you didn't read the transcript of the deal of that decision, but if they did a Hulk show, do you think it would was that a loophole?
The loophole is they won't have a Hulk TV show. It's going to be She-Hulk, and Hulk will be in it.
Is She-Hulk something I should care about? Is it actually interesting?
What's her name? Walters or something? Whatever her first name is. She's apparently pretty fucking cool. She's like a lawyer.
Oh yeah, didn't they announce this not too long ago?
Well, they announced they're going to do a She-Hulk TV show.
Yeah, She-Hulk and Moon
Allison Brie is like highly up there to be playing her.
You love her, don't you?
She's an amazing actress.
I only know her from
I don't know about being She-Hulk. I mean, that's really what she's from.
Oh. Yeah, I think I'm excited for the Eternals. Because I love that existential shit. I don't know. What's up?
Isn't Allison Brie in Mad Men?
Yeah, she was. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that. Mad Men. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that.
She's 37?
Yeah.
I didn't even think she was in her 30s.
Yeah, she was Pete's wife, right?
While we're like talking about random stuff, I think Marvel's going to have a killer couple years after DC absolutely destroys the next year. I'm really excited for all the shit that they're building up.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel in the future, but DC is going to have one of the best years in terms of DC films.
Why? Because of James Gunn?
Well, because of every movie they're releasing.
Oh, true. Well, I guess so.
Because of the Batman, because of James Gunn, and because of the Snyder Cut.
I don't want to.
It's not going to be.
How good is the Batman about to be, dude?
Phenomenal. It's about to be. I'm really excited.
I'm willing to give it a try. I think I'm done seeing Marvel films and supporting what they do unless they do something.
You won't
risky.
They won't, but you're not going to see them do anything for a while. Other than their 2 TV shows, you're not going to.
I don't care.
2 movies
Honestly,
and 2 TV shows.
This break that we've had from Marvel movies, since Far From Home, has been so nice.
Oh, why? Because we got Parasite, The Lighthouse, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Marriage Story.
Oh, you could have stopped there. Don't even make me think about this.
A million other amazing movies.
They finally got a chance to show in like actual theaters that people go to, not just random art house theaters.
Like movies that people are actually like could gather something from instead of junk food.
Uncut Gems as well.
Oh yeah, Uncut Gems, another fucking amazing movie that the Safdie brothers did.
James, our parents did not like it.
Our parents, Dad, they like shitty movies. Well, mom actually almost always has a super open mind when it comes to anything, but the movies Dad likes suck.
Yeah.
Not always. I mean, there's classics like Saving Private Ryan he likes, but more often
Batman's going to be amazing, dude.
I'm so excited. I just love Robert Pattinson.
Yep, I think everybody does at this point now.
Yeah.
I think everybody's gotten over Twilight for him.
Yeah.
Everybody's finally got rid of that stigma for him, and he's just a phenomenal actor. People have woken up to it. It's great.
He, well, right now, I'd say, like, almost all the A-list actors are not just movie stars. Like, they're just great actors stuck in movie star bodies. Like, they're... Especially everyone in, the limelight from, like, last year. I like to see Bong Joon-ho.
I need to watch Oldboy.
Do it a little more. Yes, please just watch the original.
I will. I have to. I was told if I watch the remake, I will get killed.
It's so like. It's dumb.
So the Batman, Randy.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna tie it into Joker. I think they're gonna leave it. They're gonna leave it. They're gonna leave it open ended. Like they're not gonna mention the Joker at all. But they're gonna make it dark enough and good enough that Joaquin Phoenix will want to come back for a sequel.
No, they're gonna ruin it.
Joaquin comes back first. It's not gonna happen.
I don't think it will, but I think that's what they want. I think that's like
ruin it.
Like the longer that I've gone since seeing Joker in theaters, the more I don't like it.
What are you talking about? Joker is great. It's not a 10. It's not a 9, but it's like a solid like 7 or 8 out of 10 for sure.
No, I'm saying it's 6. Like I don't care for it that much. It's literally just Joaquin going crazy.
Hi, I haven't seen Taxi Driver or King of Comedy, so maybe that affects my.
Go watch.
What about Cash Cab?
Cash Cab? Is that where they pick people up and do trivia? Nope. I don't think I've formally seen Cash Cab either.
Oh my god.
It's like
my god.
I don't know. Joker. It was fine. Joaquin went absolutely apeshit, and it's the only reason that anybody cared about the movie at all. Period. There's nothing else saving the movie.
Wait, is that the recent Joker one that came out?
Yeah.
I was thinking about watching it recently.
I recommend it. It's the worst problem.
Most people, but I just don't think. I think Taxi Driver's better, and I think King of Comedy's better.
I think we would remember it even better if it didn't come out in 2019.
I think we would remember it way better if incel culture didn't just gobble that shit up.
Like the dude
everybody
was like,
knew they were
how didn't it win Best Picture?
Everyone knew it was gonna get gobbled up by that.
I mean, we all knew, but I
think even
before
it came out, it was people were saying the word society.
We live in a society.
That's it.
I just remember the first time we saw it, I just was so flabbergasted and caught off guard because it was one of the only good movies to come out at that point that year.
Yeah, it's pretty early.
And then, no, it wasn't. It was very late, but then after that, it was October, but then October's always when the really good movies.
It's 2019?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, I mean, after that movie was Lighthouse, Parasite, fucking
Marriage Story,
Uncut
Gems.
I don't know.
In a normal year, the Joker would have been a high tier movie.
Maybe it felt early because I saw Joker before Lighthouse, Parasite, Portrait. I mean, I didn't see Portrait of a Lady on Fire until like 2 months ago.
God, Lady on Fire is so good.
It's probably my movie of 2019.
Lighthouse is mine, but not by much.
Lighthouse was such a phenomenal movie.
Lighthouse, what controversial opinion, was amazing. Joke's on you, I loved it.
I'm really excited for the Batman.
I'm excited for the Lighthouse too.
I remember me and Dalton went and saw Lighthouse on a whim. Or no, I went with you at first, right, Joey?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was me, you, Richie,
and Joey. Yeah.
And then the very next day, I was like, hey, Dalton, let's go see the Lighthouse instead of getting food. It's like, all right. And then he loved it. It's just so good. Like, if you bear the weirdness of it, it's so good.
Oh, that probably woke up my father.
I blame Disney.
You blame Disney
for people not enjoying things like the Lighthouse.
No. Lighthouse doesn't work. Lighthouse doesn't appeal to super mainstream audiences. Either.
Yeah, well, I blame Disney's grasp on films over the past 20 years for why we can't appreciate shit like that.
He's coming. Sorry guys, that took a while.
You're good. I was just saying
is Alex, shit. You guys, but by any chance, I only saw. Are you talking about? Because I wasn't listening. Allison Brie for She-Hulk?
Not confirmed.
All right.
Not
10
confirmed.
minutes ago.
I'd love it.
What are we doing?
All right, Richie.
Should I
pull up the tier list?
Richie, we've been arguing over Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to have you start it, but we weren't here.
Of course.
We're not there. We're going to come back to it, so I'll let you take that off once we get back to it. Okay.
That's a great idea. I'd love that. Hold on now. Wait. Stop. Shut up. Okay. Is that Homecoming? Okay. Wait.
It's so hard.
The second Spider-Man is not on here.
Yeah, we haven't got that for you.
You haven't gotten there.
No,
yet.
it's not on the tier list in general.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I think that's. Oh God, Is that going down to B? Oh no. Yeah, I guess so. Look at that. Wow. That's crazy.
What's next?
Save and download. It's ready for her.
I think Infinity War is next, isn't it?
Should I drop it now? Here we go. Now? My tier list.
No, not yet.
Join James'
when do we do it?
Join James' stream. Look at the
Okay. Let's see. Here we go.
We're going to do debate time after we finish going through all the movies.
Oh, I see. So what are we at right now?
We changed the ratings to contained in the MCU. Like, S for me would be a 10 out of 10 normally, and that's how I originally rated it, but I compromised, so now S is just the best Marvel movie. Not 10 out of 10 films in general, just the best Marvel movies.
Okay. All right.
So,
cool.
That's where we're at. Which does leave. All right, Randy, you said you would introduce Infinity War, so if you want to.
It's my very favorite. It's my very favorite.
That's your favorite.
I love Infinity War so much. I will die on this hill. This movie was. I mean, it was Empire. It's Empire.
Mm-hmm.
It's Empire for the MCU. Thanos is a main character, and as much as we all love good villains, him and Killmonger are like the two best, and I have a preference towards him just because of how ridiculous he is. But at the same time, with him being so fucking ridiculous, is that he just has a goal. Like, he's just trying to accomplish what he thinks is right, and it makes you question. Obviously, we all know, don't kill half the universe. Hey, that's a no-no. That's not what a good person would do. But in his mind, that is what a good person would do, because he saw everybody die because they didn't take precautionary measures. And
if you consider it die, yeah.
And I mean, it jumps between so many different stories, and it still works at the same time. There's three different groups that are all on separate parts of the universe. It still feels like a cohesive story. I mean, granted, it's not self-contained. All right, that's the only gripe I have with the film. It's not self-contained. You can't watch this shit without watching Endgame after, or without watching a few of the Marvel movies beforehand. But
you need to watch Black Panther.
You gotta watch.
Yeah, that's true. You need to watch Black Panther.
You need to watch Black Panther, and unfortunately, you need to watch Thor Ragnarok.
Not unfortunately, no. It's fine.
We were all hard on it. I think.
This was a biggie one.
I think it's my favorite. It's my personal favorite. It's my pick.
You think it's better than Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Randy's right about it being Empire. I still have Winter Soldier ahead of it in my eyes, but like it is Empire. It is a phenomenal movie and had in terms of ending, the best ending.
Yeah, it had the very best ending. It was a
flip.
It was a complete culture shock to the whole system.
Our mouths were just wide open.
Yeah,
everybody cried.
Everyone cried. I mean, everyone knows. It's like fucking 9/11. Everyone knows where they were when fucking Black Panther dissolved into nothing.
Yeah,
like, literally.
Yeah.
When Tom wasn't feeling so great either.
Yeah, right.
That was so great.
I mean, yeah, dude. Oh, the way they ended that movie is one of the ballsiest things I've ever seen.
Literally.
And I don't know, man. I mean, we'll get into the others later. This movie was not an event for me. This was a fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was just titties.
It was definitely an event. I mean
that in a good way or in a bad way.
I've gone through this so many times. It feels like it changes, but titties means it's not true.
Not true. For me, it's good. For me, it's always been good, and it will never not be good. Scary Godmother titties.
I remember being in theater and everybody cheering their absolute fucking minds off when Thor landed. Randy was there. That was so much fun.
I jumped up and started screaming.
Like, for what? For what?
I mean,
when Thor landed in Wakanda.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm not even talking about how Ragnarok broke Thor immediately, took everything away, made him just worthless pretty much. I mean, all he has is his own powers, but then they just gave him.
Mm-hmm.
He had to make a journey. He had to make new friends, and he had to do hard things. Open up, taking an entire star and maybe dying. but he did.
Yeah, I absolutely loved. I'm not saying I didn't have moments with him, but absolutely from this point on, I loved him. I loved what they did with his character in this one, and
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously it was an event, but I mean, it didn't stand on the shoulders of it being an event. You know what I mean? Like it didn't use it as a crutch. It obviously was, but it was a movie.
It could stand on its own 2 feet.
Yes, it was a movie. It wasn't. Me personally, I could watch this shit. I think it's a good, fucking great ass movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you can only enjoy in the theaters. Does it pump that shit up 1,000%? Yeah, but with a movie that you love, especially with a spectacle kind of like this, that kind of goes with any movie. It's better in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I can just watch this. You know what I mean? It's a really great movie, and I think balancing what they did, the idea of balancing and introducing this new story for these characters to go through with so many is fucking insane. And even if they did it kind of okay, I would be singing their praises. But they did it pretty fucking well.
And not to mention, all the groups prior to that movie had either barely interacted or never interacted.
Exactly. You're setting up new dynamics, and for the most part, they fucking work, and they feel good, and they pay off. And yeah,
Thor and Rocket.
That's why we want these movies.
And then fucking Tony, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and then all of a sudden they meet the Guardians minus.
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on, everybody.
S tier.
It's come on.
Can I? Okay. So, here's the thing. If we didn't know Endgame was coming, that was an incredibly unsatisfying ending. So I cannot say it stands alone when the other half that was shot at the same time. Now, if we want to count those two together, then by all means, that's totally cool.
No, that's not fair.
But
they would have to be okay.
I also don't do that. That's what I wrote down in my notes.
Because Endgame is not.
That's good. Not nearly.
Not nearly as good.
No.
Not nearly as good as the movie. I mean, not even close, dude.
I would rather have had Infinity War just end and then they pick up somewhere else instead of Endgame, because Endgame was cool and all, but like Infinity War just was on an entirely different level.
Like I said, we'll get there when we talk about it. But yeah, it was an event.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Infinity War, and personally, I gotta be honest, man. I mean, you can say objectively or whatever the fucking word is, it's a bad ending if it wasn't, but it was. But also, regardless, to be that ballsy, man, it was an effective ending, regardless of whatever came after it. It was fucking effective, and it was a punch to the gut, and it was a fucking grenade to the fucking brain.
It was a wake-up call for everybody that was sleeping throughout all the news, saying that there's no risks, which, I mean, got changed in the next movie. But
that's why. See, that's what I'm saying. It was reading that. Look, I like this movie, and I'm not taking points away from this, but I cannot say that it stands alone.
I didn't say it. I was very.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was making that point. I don't think
okay.
These are the two movies that you can't say stand alone.
Yeah.
Like I said, I kind of give points to movies that can, but I don't take away that can't, because that's inevitable in this roster of films and what they're doing. But yeah, Infinity War, I don't know, man. I couldn't say enough great things about it. I have my issues here and there, but it's a kick ass.
I mean, the moments that happen in that movie are some of the moments in all of the Marvels, and most of the memorable things that I have happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe have happened in that movie. The images that are captured in my mind of these characters are images from Infinity War.
Absolutely, because it's all been building to this, to see what they would do when like the chips are down, and you see them at their most heroic and at their most iconic, I guess.
Something that sort of made me sort of change my perspective on Infinity. Well, not change my perspective, but it sort of just emphasized how crazy good this movie was that Steve Rogers, a character that I was was like I take him or leave him. You know, I liked some of the things that he had done in the past, especially with Civil War and Winter Soldier. Like I liked some of his character stuff, but all the good movies that he was in, it seemed to be everything else surrounding him that was more interesting. After Infinity War, and after just the character decisions that he did, and that moment when he was holding back Thanos, like with all he did, like all of his might, like everything that he had left in the tank after fighting off a whole entire army, just holding him off desperately. And Thanos looks at him like, holy shit, dude. Like you can see Thanos looked at him and is like, whoa. Like, okay. And then he just tosses him aside because he's a god, obviously. But just that moment justified every single decision that moment there justified to me his entire character throughout the entire cinematic universe. And a moment like that, I mean, that is like a moment that justifies a character that seems to be just sort of, like the Boy Scout, just sort of, the whatever. You kind of have to have a character like this in every movie you have that made his sort of necessity in a universe like this just huge, like huge, crazy huge. That's like one of my favorite moments in the entire cinematic universe.
Yeah. As I've been saying for other movies that I've liked or disliked, my points being, I think every character needed to interact the way they needed to. I think you needed to care about who you needed to care about and be afraid of who you need to be afraid of. And I don't know. I think there was a lot of heart and anguish to it, which is all I want out of movies. And I don't know, man. It hit different than anything. And
can I throw out like a weird paradigm that has nothing to do?
Replace all the. I know exactly where you're going.
It's the dogs and the 12.
Replace all the. Replace.
It's the dogs.
I was gonna say replace all the main characters with dogs. Yeah, we've all been thinking it. Would they be as good? And I don't think so.
Except make Rocket Raccoon the only person.
I think that this invalidates my tier list, but I mean, let me give you. So here's how my mind works. If you asked me what the best Zelda game is, dude, fucking Ocarina of Time, obviously. But if you ask me like what my favorite is, or like is Ocarina of Time better than Majora's Mask? No, Majora's Mask kicks Ocarina of Time's fucking ass. And when I make a Marvel tier list, putting something like Infinity War above Winter Soldier makes sense, but I think Winter Soldier is the better movie. But I would also understand putting it above here in the context of the MCU. But I think Winter Soldier is the better movie. Like just standalone, no context needed, just the better movie.
Yeah, standalone, no context needed. Obviously, Winter Soldier's better. You're not trying to juggle 80 different characters you've never met before.
I think that, like I said, I don't think that should take away points, especially when you look at the landscape.
No, I'm not taking points away.
And I think that like the amount of shit that Infinity War had to do, like I'm still baffled from the writing team that was on that. Like, how the fuck did you guys do that? Like I still can't understand like how they did that, how they even had the confidence to do something like that, to take that sort of job on. Like it's insane to me. It's
$1 million.
Insane.
I mean, 2.5 hours is pretty long, but 2.5 hours for everything that happened in that movie is kind of crazy. And the fact that it meshed that well and it never. Was there any did you ever feel downtime?
No.
It was a constant ride. I mean,